Good afternoon, everyone. It's Teen. I'm Eric. How's everyone doing? I hope you're well. I'm going to start off today on the Free Thought Project. I do have a couple of other things to show you and talk about, but I want to sandwich one of the topics between other things. That way YouTube has to, actually watch the video to catch me talking about these things. Alright, let me move my big ass head out of the way so I can flip-flop through here. Alright. Well, the United Nations and Democrats and some Republicans wish to disarm the American population because, it's dangerous. We have government officials, officers of the law out there who are even more dangerous. Take this first article for example. Disturbing video shows cops shooting AR-15 near crowd of teens, killing 17-year-old boy. Now, if anyone should be disarmed, it should be the government, not the people. Right? Or no? Am I wrong? I mean, after all, it is the government who kills far more people every year than many, many years of mass shooters combined. So, there's that. And I got another couple more really low down fucking police actions to cover here as well. So, disturbing video shows cops shooting AR-15 near a crowd of teens and it ended up killing a 17-year-old. They say boy, but you're not really a boy when you're 17. You're almost there. So this happened in Glendale, Arizona. It was supposed to be a Snapchat organized drive-in party in an industrial part of Glendale, Arizona, long after businesses closed for the week. But what started off as a great idea to meet up in cars and groups ended up with one 17-year-old high school student being gunned down by police early Sunday morning. Levi Isaac Medino Santabanez was shot after apparently ignoring police commands to disperse. Part of the incident was captured on video, and it is nothing short of horrifying. Now, I'm not sure if I would use the word horrifying, but I think these words are far overused. That's just my opinion, though. If you scroll through YouTube, many titles have the word horrifying in it or scary. And if some of these things scare you, you probably don't have any balls. Okay, so a family member of 17-year-old Levi, I'm just going to leave it at Levi so I don't butcher their name, shared this photo with me. A Glendale police officer shot the teen 4 times at a warehouse party where GDP or PD responded to multiple shots fired. Police say he had a gun on him, but it's unknown if he used it. I doubt that he had a gun on him. They always say that shit, and it ends up being a cell phone or some other kind of object. So this happened they're claiming he had a gun, and most of the time they don't tell the truth about what happened. And I'm not going to show this video because I have another one that's even probably a little more gruesome that I'm going to share with you, and I'm trying to keep from getting a strike here on this video. I mean, after all, YouTube just got rid of red ice for being white advocates, apparently. Apparently, you're not allowed to advocate for your own race if it is a European-based race. Alright. I'm going to get to the other ones here. Family says they were attacked and arrested for loitering in their own yard. Yep, you heard that right. Apparently, in the land of the free, you could be arrested for loitering in your own fucking yard. I'll hit the key points of this one. I've read most of these articles last night and this morning, so I don't need to read the entire things here. And look at the look on this woman's face. It's priceless. You're like, what the fuck? But in the land of the free, she should not be shocked when something like this happens, as it happens almost daily in this here free country. This happened in Chester Township, Pennsylvania. The widely accepted definition of the crime of loitering is the act of remaining in a particular public place for a protracted time without any apparent purpose. The designation of the term public place is important, as one does not need a purpose to do as they wish on their own private property. One police department in Pennsylvania, however, must have missed this point, as they arrested a family earlier this month for the alleged crime of loitering in their own yard. So they're about to sue this police department for wrongful arrest, among other things, for they were arrested in their own damn yard for loitering, which I don't see how that's possible. They always have to add a racial element to these articles, right? But none is needed. It's not only black people who are needlessly gunned down by police. White people and Spanish or Hispanic Latino people are as well. But I guess the white people don't count because our skin is pale. Alright. And this one here, there's a good example of that. If my computer will fucking load this page a little faster. So this guy here was shot in the back through his window. Sound familiar? By police who did not make their presence known or even have identifiable uniforms on. This happened in Aurora, Colorado. Just as news about the tragic murder of Atania Jefferson by a Fort Worth police officer who shot her through the window surfaced, another similar incident unfolded in Aurora, Colorado. An Aurora police officer, without saying anything, shot a 22-year-old man in the back, through a window in his own home. The man never even saw the cop until after they'd shot him. In quotes, it's crazy, said Denver criminal defense attorney Burke Baumgartner, who is representing Andy Huff, the man shot by the police. In quotes once more, they shot him through a window in the back. You know, it takes a pretty cowardly, low-down piece of shit to shoot somebody in the back. I mean, don't they have the smallest of balls? I don't think they do. I really, really don't. I really don't think they have any balls at all. Whoops. But hey, that's just me. I think Tupac was right when he called them punk, gay, sensitive, little dick bastards. Just saying. Okay, but according to the attorney, police never announced themselves at Huff's home and never identified themselves as police before opening fire on Huff as he stood inside his own home. And you think you have to be doing something wrong in the land of the free before, you know, what's that saying? If you don't do nothing wrong, you don't have nothing to worry about. But that's not true. You can be doing nothing at all, like chilling in your front yard, and you will be harassed, attacked, maybe even killed by the law enforcement officials that show up. Now let's check this one out, because can you really think of a good reason why an officer should put their hands on an 11-year-old girl? I can't. I mean, even if she was, disruptive, he had no right to put his hands on a child, an 11-year-old child. Which is a great reason for you not to be sending your kids to these public schools, because they might get attacked by the resource cop there. You know, maybe they're just a little bit too sarcastic or whatever, and the cop flies off in a rage and ends up killing your child. How would you feel about that? Okay, so this happened in Farmington, New Mexico. A veteran Farmington police officer was allowed to quietly resign this month in a move to escape accountability after horrifying video footage showed him attacking an 11-year-old girl with special needs. The incident unfolded on August 27th, but the officer's lapped camera video has only just been released. This is nothing short of disturbing, as it shows the officer, who is much bigger than the girl, slamming her down on the counter, or concrete rather, while abusing her. They say that's not their standards, but it's only not their standards when the officer gets caught on video. If he had not been caught on video, this police department, like every other, would have done everything possible to lie for and cover for this dirty bastard. What else is on here? Now, I got a couple more for you. And yes, they are dirty bastards. Let's see here. I'd probably be racist for covering this, but hey, what can you say? I'm an equal opportunity asshole. East Orange, New Jersey, a 30-year-old veteran police officer has been arrested and charged with raping kids while serving as the youth football director and their coach in the East Orange PAL, or Police Athletic League. Again, when people go out of their way to be around children and they have authority, they're usually fucking pedophiles, like this guy. He was arrested and charged with sexually assaulting 2 boys, but his fellow boys in blue believe there may be an untold amount of victims who have yet to come forward. They're encouraging members of the public to tell their story if they're aware of more victims. So, and I'm sure he does. I mean, you don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I think I'm going to start molesting kids today. Yep. These are your heroes. Yeah, your boys in blue. The good guys, right? I mean, it really does go on and on. I can go back in the archives and find all kinds of shit. But I'm gonna just hit the headlines for those last ones here. Elderly handcuffed man suffers 8 broken ribs, punctured lung as 300-pound cop attacks him. Cops mistake powdered milk for cocaine. Innocent man thrown in cage for months. And actually, I do want to cover this one in full because it has a very important point in it, which people should be aware of. You'll find out here in a moment. Okay, so you heard the headline. Cops mistake powdered milk for cocaine. Innocent man thrown in cage for months. Whoops. Alright. Police incompetence coupled with the war on drugs is a dangerous mixture that all too often takes the lives of entirely innocent people and hurls them into turmoil and destruction. Not only does the war on drugs lay waste to the rights and lives of countless innocent people caught with substances deemed illegal by the state, but many people who never possess these substances fall victim to drug warrior cops so hell-bent on ruining lives that they will claim that powdered milk is cocaine. And believe me, there is the only thing the two have in common is their color. That's it. The way they look. And cocaine has kind of if it's in a bag, it has kind of a rainbowy, pearly look to it, whereas powdered milk doesn't. You can really tell the difference, and just by smelling it. Cocaine has a very unique smell. So, these guys were either outwardly stupid or were trying to fuck this guy's life up. After being held in jail for weeks, Cody Gregg, 26, pled guilty to trafficking drugs on October 8th. Now, did you hear that? He pled guilty knowing full well he didn't have cocaine, but powdered milk. Okay, so he pled guilty to trafficking drugs on October 8th and was sentenced to 15 years in prison last week. The only thing is, Gregg never trafficked cocaine and was instead in possession of powdered milk. He was forced to take the guilty plea just to get out of jail. Days later, after a lab tested the powdered milk, They confirmed it was not cocaine, and the conviction was dismissed only after his life was thrown into utter chaos, turmoil, whatever you want to call it. So, and a lot of times they won't even throw that conviction out, even if the tests come back. They say, hey, you pleaded guilty to it, so, and in this case, the charges were thrown out. But that's, that's not adequate. It's not adequate. And when they use these field drug test kits, they are very, very inaccurate and have a lot of false positive or positives. So the point being here, down here, is a huge percentage of people that go to jail okay, let me get this here. I'm gonna have to beat my daughter. Okay, the cash bail system, posting cash bail is a problem, Lohman said, and he's an attorney. If they can't afford an attorney, they're not going to be able to post bond to get out. There have often been times where I've actively talked a client out of taking a plea bargain, he said. But if the client wants to take that plea, I really can't stand in their way of it. In quotes by the same attorney, sometimes it's like we, the attorneys, have more stamina than the clients do, he added. But that's because we're on the outside and they're in jail. Jails are such a bad place to be that 90% of potentially innocent people in them end up taking dubious plea deals, just like Greg. Shockingly enough, according to the National Litigation and Public Policy Organization, the Innocence Project, at any given time, there are an estimated 40 to 100,000 innocent people currently locked in a cage in U.S. prisons. But keep saying to yourself, if you do nothing wrong, you have nothing to worry about. And this is why I tell you every single day to kill the state and live free. But before we wrap this up, just to give you an idea of where the police state is headed in our country, we can look over there at the UK, where they've taken the nanny state, among other things, to extremes. UK police investigate transgender being turned down for porn role as a hate crime. Now, I hate to say it, but just because a person's screwing on camera doesn't necessarily mean they're going to want to screw a chick with a dick. But UK police are investigating the potential hate crime of a transgender man, he is a man, being turned down for a porn role because he still had a penis. So we can't really call it she, okay? I could have thought, if I were the producer, I would have just said, yeah, you're an ugly bitch. We don't need you. But 25-year-old Rhea Cooper, who became the UK's youngest transgender person 10 years ago, received messages on WhatsApp from an anonymous photographer who wanted to have sex on camera and sell the tape. However, when the photographer found out that Cooper still had male reproductive organs, he said he couldn't work with her because she has a cock. This prompted Cooper to alert Humberside police to this transphobic behavior. And a spokesman from that police department said, in quotes, "We received a report of a hate incident yesterday. On Wednesday, October 16th, the report has been logged and will be investigated." Turning someone down in the sack, whether it's for money or not, is not a fucking hate crime. There is no such thing as a hate crime. You cannot outlaw an emotion. The UK's violent crime rate has risen by 19% in the last year. Fatal stabbings are becoming commonplace in major cities. But thank God, police resources are being wasted on the urgent issue of transgenders being offended over words. And this one was from Paul Joseph Watson, by the way. And here's one more for you. This is the mindset of these individuals. A woman who hit strangers with an axe in a 7-Eleven had 5 years added to her sentence. I don't know if you ever seen this, but they say a woman. It was a man, okay? And of all places, this comes from BuzzFeed. And I can't believe alternative media missed this, but they did. So, this woman, she hit strangers with an axe in Sydney, Australia, at a convenience store, and will spend at least 8 years in prison after his sentence was drastically increased on appeal. Looks like he should have taken the sentence originally given, huh? But this individual launched an axe attack on unsuspecting customers at a 7-Eleven in the suburbs of Enmore. Yeah. The blows she dealt to Ben Rimmer and Shannon Hacker with a 40 or 4.5 pound axe caused the pair serious injuries and were captured in graphic CCTV footage, rather. All right. You see that shit. Graphic warning content. Oh man, people are fucking nuts. Especially these people. And the guy's like, what the fuck is that bitch doing with the axe? And you might wonder why this individual launched such an attack while we're watching this here. And it was because they were repeatedly turned down for, sex by other males. Now, these people, when they get rejected, they are very vindictive and become very, very unhinged, as you can see. Now, I personally know a transgender, and they were celebrating with their wife, female wife, the decision by I think it was the psychiatric community or World Health Organization, I believe it was the World Health Psychiatric Division of it, declared that transgenderism was not a mental disorder. However, just because a board of idiot leftist doctors get together and decide that this particular disorder is not a disorder doesn't make it so. And this is another example of how the so-called experts, the authoritative sources, are full of shit. Okay, that's for another video, but I'm going to have to cover something else right quick, just because, again, that last topic needs to be sandwiched between a couple of things. I know it's gone on for, 32 minutes now, but I'll make this quick. Government still heavy-handed 80 years after FDR's gold confiscation. Again, if you think the idea of the government and banks seizing your gold and other precious metals is far-fetched, you only need to look at the Roosevelt administration to understand that this is not far-fetched. And in fact, this is something that you should expect from your government. You should expect them to steal everything from you. You should expect them to drain all of the life from you. You should expect them to kill you. Because, as the 20th century showed, government, by far, is the biggest killer of people. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great, great afternoon, and I have a couple more topics to cover today. I'll get to them sometime today. But until next time, kill the state, live free.